All right. So before I get onto the roadmap, I wanted to discuss some of the things that you might not know about gliderbim, because there's quite a lot that goes on in the world of gliderbim. There's some people in the room who only use DMS, some people who only use the BIM module, and some people who've never opened gliderbim yet. They're one of our customers, but their team use it for them. So to do my 5 things like Stuart asked me, I thought I'd just ask one of the AI generators to create me 5 inquisitive owls in a pink cyberpunk style. AI is silly and brilliant in equal measures. Saves me drawing these things. All right. So the first thing I wanted to dig into in terms of things that people are doing with the platform, and Tim, who's in the room from Unite, is leading the way on some of this, is using gliderbim as a building safety platform. There's an awful lot of stuff that goes into a building safety case and the work behind creating a building safety case that we can help with. And if you use a good selection of the modules, you can really create those golden threads between the assets that live within the platform. So things like having a building safety action plan, you've probably got templates at the enterprise level. You're going to have what is the building safety action plan for this building at the workspace level. Then we can plan that using the models. What's in these spaces? What can we do? Having a look at it and actually using GliderFlow on the end to manage the actions. So right the way across the platform, doing different things at different levels within your enterprise, you can keep a track of building safety compliance actions. And when we've got the structured data in gliderbim, a lot of our customers don't want to write a document for everything that the Building Safety Act asks for, because they've got that data anyway. It's already in a system. But how do they structure it? How do they present it? How do they show to the regulator? We are on top of this, and we understand that our high-risk building data is being looked after within a structured platform. We know it's up to date. We know what we're doing. This is a lot of what the regulator is going to be looking at. Have you got the data? Do you maintain the data? And do you know where it's deficient? Do you know where you need to do the work? So there's a lot you can do in gliderbim for building safety. We're doing a lot of work in this area, and anyone who's looking at this particular problem, banging your head off SharePoint a little bit, please do come and have a chat with us. Okay. So other things you can do with gliderbim. We've got this lovely process defined by the Government and Industry Interoperability Group of how to manage information. So if you haven't read that guidance document on the information management platform, I suggest you do. It's a good document. But I think there was a bit of a missing step, validate and verify, between deliver and store. Let's make sure it's right. And that's something gliderbim's really good at. So that's where we live. That's what the BIM module does. It's what the file naming convention does. It's what good metadata checking and review workflows do. It's about right information, right place, right time. But we've also got another routine. It's not always a project. There's sometimes we've got loads of data. How do we get it to that point we can validate it and store it where we want it? So we've got a data migration process. A number of customers in the room are working with us on data migration projects, where we look at the information you have and we go through that ETL process. As Henry says, it'd be nice if ETL processes became the work of AI in the future and we didn't have to do so much work, but this is valuable work to get you to the point where your store's full of good information. And then you've got the tricky bit. People use that information and make changes to it. How do we validate it and put it back? This is all a challenge that a lot of our customers are facing at the moment. And again, we've got features here. Not many people in the room know about the IDP toolkit for structuring your environment. So your new workspaces can be based off your best practice. You can put templates in, you can put placeholder documents in, you can build your BIM templates from a library. So putting that consistency in, so when you start your information management pipeline to build that asset information model, you know it's in accordance with what you like to do as a business. It's going to get done right. So we've got a whole suite of things within the gliderbim software where we're helping people with this whole process of information management. It's not just projects, models, data, hand it over. there is this life cycle. And digital handover management. Some of our customers spend a lot of time with us on digital handover management, like Kia. And they put out a great video this week that I'm going to try and play, which shows you about where we fit into their digital handover management. See if it works. Probably have to click it on the screen.
Kia delivered HMP5 wells using a design for manufacture and assembly approach, integrating digital tools, driving efficiencies in the design, construction and operation. The design was complex and extensive asset information was provided. Data accuracy ensured a smooth handover from design to construction phase. As project integrator, Kia helped to align these requirements with industry standards and trained the supply chain to deliver against them. Kia hired Glider's information management services to collate and validate data from each trade contractor, identifying and correcting anomalies. This formed an asset information model using O&Ms as built BIM models and COBie data. gliderbim verified deliverables across sites covering 68 major packages from 49 subcontractors, verifying over 380,000 COBie records, including 2.8 million data points. This was done by processing over 17,000 handover documents and producing 437 O&M manuals, building user guides, health and safety files, testing and commissioning records. The digital handover was validated with the client and was 100% compliant. This level of handover ensures a smooth transition for operation teams responsible for running the prison. The client can also use insights from the asset data to help drive future decisions through the building's life cycle. As a strategic supplier to the MOJ, Kia took lessons learnt from HMP5 wells and applied them to other projects, providing continuous improvement.
Bear with me a moment. Yeah, it's an excellent video. So we should have the slides back. Excellent. So thank you very much for that, Kia. But I think it displays what we do in digital handover management. When you look at some of those statistics, and I can get onto the next slide. The statistics are incredible. There they are. All of that work, 2.8 million data points. When I mentioned the graph earlier, 2.8 million data points in the graph. They didn't all come in at once, and nobody got them right first time. That was an iterative change process over 2.8 million pieces of data. It was an incredible piece of work to deliver this handover with Kia. It's mind-blowing how much got done there, and doing it without gliderbim, I really wouldn't want to try. So that's something that is unique about gliderbim. Okay, but yes, we do the complex, the 2.8 million data point challenge of mega prisons, but the BIM module isn't only for the hard stuff. Sometimes, if you have a simple data set, you can dodge the model generator and the COBie parser and just put it against the validation template. I've got some data. Is it right? Is it what I expected? Where did they go wrong and how do we fix it? So by creating the templates and putting information against it, even if that's a single spreadsheet, just one tab with 10 fields in it, we test it, we get a validation report. Is it right? Is it wrong? And then we can manage that change. You can either ask for a new spreadsheet, import it again, and we don't lose that history. We've got that full audit trail of the information that we're managing. Or you can change it in the system through the RFI process. You can assign it to somebody else to fix it if you so wish. And then we can use that information. We've got it right. We've gone from a simple data set to something that we trust. Then we can export it and use it, or we can connect it to other systems. And that could be your wider information management platform system. The work we're doing with defense, there's the federated data architecture approach. Other people have different ways of building an information management platform. How do we get the data from someone creating it through a process to the point where we trust it and we can use it? So if you've got data challenges, don't forget gliderbim's BIM module is there. It's not all about IFC processing. It does it and it does it well, but there's more to it. And then one of the other things I wanted to talk about today is the fact that we've got lots of features that a lot of you use some of, but not all of them. And when you start layering them up, they have a really good compound effect. So we have all of these users. If we start breaking down into workspaces, we can put the right people in the right workspaces. So you can't even access the project or the building because you're just not invited into it. But some people have got privileges that take them throughout the whole enterprise, or they can be invited in especially. And then we can put them into user groups. And that narrows the pack down again. What can I do within the system in my user group? So we're starting to see right people, right information. And then we've got a tool that exists in the system, but it's not widely used, called classifications, where we can apply a security classification to any document in a DMS. That means it's secure, or it's read-only, or it's checked out. These are bespoke classifications you can add, what do you want to do with them, and who can see them. So by assigning a classification, we've reduced the pool again. And then we've pushed it through a workflow panel to make sure the right person sees it to make a decision. So if you just layer up the features that exist, you can get to a really good, smooth process, a really good decision. Right person with the right document, with the right metadata, getting the right decision. And the BIM module's got similar processes, different names on the features because it's a subtly different challenge, but making sure the right people are signing off the right information, or people are completing the right RFIs. Subcontractors only filling out the fields they need to fill out, rather than asking them for a full Kobe workbook. And then Glider is a reference data library. The concept of reference data libraries is something that's emerged from Centre of Digital Build Britain. But essentially, how do we structure our world around information management, put all of our resources, our templates, our common data models all into the same place so people can use them and not get it wrong? gliderbim is being used as a reference data library by a number of our customers. Probably the most advanced is the defense example, where we've got the reference data library working both sides of the fence. It feeds information into projects so people know what they're doing. They've got the right templates, they've got the right standards, they've got the IDP, so they should have a good basis to get the work right. And then we can bring it through into an acceptance process and feed that into an asset workspace. So the data has gone through a good process to make sure it was right and in line with our reference data library. So making sure we've got really good structured approaches to everything.